Machiavelli Mills TV, y'all. Hey, seriously, like, don't y'all hate workplace bullies? For real, like, I can't stand them. Like, I despise workplace bullies. But it's a real thing, for real. Whether you're in the fast food chain or whether you're in corporate America, they exist on all levels. For real. And it's people at work that really get thrills or get kicks out of using their power to intimidate people. Like using intimidation tactics against people that they know are fearful of them or are fearful of losing their job, and they try to flex their muscle every chance they get. Like, I despise that, for real. And I remember when I first got out of college or got out of grad school and I was going into the job market, and like, I was thinking about all those things because I was trying, you're entering the job field, and you want to work, at the top of the food chain eventually. And I'm looking like, the higher that I climb, like, the more I'm probably going to deal with some people. Like, I'm not going to knock on wood, but because I haven't had a lot of vicious, I haven't really seen, I've seen a little bit of it, but nothing extremely over the top. But I've heard people that dealt with it. Seriously, I've seen individuals deal with it. I haven't dealt with it myself, but I've seen other people deal with it. And I think the best way is some ways I think to avoid that. And it's not going to work every single time because some people are just sociopaths. They just look to intimidate people. But I think one way to avoid it is to seriously to carry yourself with a certain amount of confidence at work. Not arrogance, but confidence. To, walk with your head held high and to be assertive in who you are as a person and as an employee. Because I think when people see that you're not assertive or you're not confident and they see that you got some type of insecurities, people play on that. Even in the job field, even in corporate America, there are people that play on that for whatever reason. Maybe they got stuff going on at home, they dealing with things personally, or they just messed up people. But people play on that. I remember when I first started working, right? And when I would talk to certain individuals that were above me, like, I would try to not sound real boisterous or I would try to soften my tone a little bit because I didn't want to come off like I'm trying to be either too friendly or I'm too, I don't know, maybe I was too boisterous or too whatever. And then I noticed, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. No. Because the moment you get to, hi, how you doing? And you sound timid. When you sound timid and you sound like, you're afraid to talk to a person, there are people who are master manipulators, who are power abusers, and they play on that type of stuff. They like, okay, I peeped this person. They kind of afraid to talk to me. They're kind of afraid to engage with me because they're afraid of how I'm going to respond. So I'm going to play on that. I'm going to make them feel a little bit more uncomfortable. I'm going to say certain things to make them not know how to gauge me and things like that. There are people who play on that type of stuff. So I think that individuals, to avoid those type of things, be confident, be assertive. Don't be aggressive when talking to your boss. I hate to say the word boss, but when you're talking to people who are higher up than you, you be assertive though. I think you should be assertive and just talk like you regularly would. Keep it professional, but talk like you regularly would in your regular tone. Not obnoxious, not loud, not aggressive, but like you're having a conversation with a normal person on the street rather than being sheepish, rather than being meek and mild, like to the point where you're, hi, I just want to know if I can, because people are like, okay, they scared already. I'm gonna give them the answer that they not looking for, since I know that they're afraid anyway. And they try to nitpick with you because they feel like, okay, this is a sheepish person, sheepish person. I can play on them and all that type of stuff. One other thing too, I think people should avoid. I think that there are people that go to work looking to brown nose their way to the top, to kiss some butt to get to the top, to kiss up to whoever the big wig is in order to, climb the ladder, climb the food chain, climb the ladder of success, whatever you want to call it. And I think that's the wrong way to go about it, because there are people who, when they know you're a sucker, oh man, they're going to play you like a fiddle. Seriously, they're going to like, okay, look, and I'm talking about, there's nothing wrong with having a conversation with a person who is a higher up or whatever, having conversations, or that's cool. But it's some people that like try to like make it their job to go out of their way to engage with their boss, to go out of their way to seem over, just what you call it, dishing out compliments, just doing over the top stuff, over the top, all in their face. What you think about the game? And hey, can we watch the game? And how was your weekend? I mean, it's cool to ask people. I think it's cool to ask people how was their weekend and stuff like that. But when it seems like you're trying to suck up to them all the time, and you do such a great job, and I want to be like you, and that type of stuff, nah, that's not gonna get you nowhere. Because they know you're a brown noser, and they're gonna take advantage of that. This person want to be just like me. They scared of me. They want to compliment. They want to be my friend so bad. They want to be in good with me so bad. Okay, you know what? I'm going to make you work to get in good with me. You going to stay overtime and do this work. I'm going to put some more work on you since you want to be in good with me. Do this work that these other coworkers don't want to do. Do their work. I'm going to give you some little extra work for you to do. You know, those hours that you looking for, that you requesting, nah, you don't need that. Nah, you don't need them hours. We need you in here to do some work since you want to be my friend so bad. You want to ingratiate yourself with me so bad. You want to be in good favor with me so bad. Do this extra work that I may not want to do. And that's wrong for sure. That's wrong for a higher up to do that. And you know, I'm not advocating you to be a bad person, because essentially people should just be good people at work. You know, people should not be power abusers and should manage accordingly. But being realistic, there are workplace bullies that exist. And I think that the wrong way when you go into a job and you're trying to be a suck up, and you're really, really sheepish around people, that's a negative sign. My mother always told me that people are people. No matter what position that they're in, no matter what title that they have, they're people. So you should never be afraid of people. You shouldn't. You know, you can talk and have a regular conversation with them, voice your opinion on certain things. Voice your, hey, if you feel like something happened that you didn't like and you want to address it, there's a professional way to do so. But you should never come in and when you're talking to this person, you should never seem like you're cowering to that person, or like you're defeated, is what I'm saying. I'm not calling people cowards or nothing like that, because, and I know it's easier said than done, because me as a young man, I had those battles, like coming into a workplace, you like, I don't want to be over the top. I don't want to seem like I'm doing too much, but at the same time, you know, you feel like, I don't want to be too sheepish, because it's gonna give off a negative sign. And I've had those times where I did come off a little sheepish, and I'm like, nah, man, nah, these are people. I'm not gonna act like I'm terrified of people, to talk to people, essentially, because they bleed the same blood as me. You know, they put their pants on one leg at a time the same way that I do. So I'm not going to come in here and act like I'm just super fearful to talk to this person. You know, and I think that even when it gets to the point that a person is just bullying you for the sake of doing so, like a boss or superior, hey, I think you gotta stand up for yourself, because if you don't do that, it'll persist. And I'm young, so maybe I'm not the person to be taking advice from on these type of matters. I haven't been in the working field very long. I've been out of grad school for 2 years now. Been working for 2 years, but you know, and maybe you all can provide input. Older individuals that watch this video that are more seasoned than me, maybe you should go to HR. Maybe you should have a conversation and say, you know what, I don't really like the way you went about doing that. I didn't like how that transpired. Seriously, that made me feel like this, that, and the third, or whatever. Or just go to HR to avoid even that. Maybe you want to avoid the interaction with that person and go straight to HR and tell them, look, this person is making me feel this type of way. It's uncomfortable for me. I don't think it's professional for them to be responding to me in that manner. And yeah, I don't feel comfortable interacting with that person. These interactions are having a negative effect on me, and I don't appreciate it. You can say those type of things to HR, but for sure, I definitely encourage that. And y'all tell me if you would have another method of doing so. But I'm never an advocate for a person letting people run over them, because if they allow it to persist, it will continue and oftentimes get worse because they feel like, this person, they ain't gonna say nothing, they ain't gonna stand up for themselves. I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna see how far I can go with this. I'm gonna see how far I can take this, and we're gonna try to take it up a couple of notches higher. And I don't think you should. I think you should be confident, be assertive, but not over the top, not aggressive. I think you should not kiss up to people, not for sure, not try to brown nose your way to the top. You can interact, you can have conversations, you can be polite, you can be professional, but it's a clear difference between kissing up and being cordial and having a regular conversation. There is a fine line between the two. And I often find that the people that do kiss up, hey, yeah, they might climb a little few notches, but the people that push them up a few notches, they talk to them any type of way that they want to talk to them, because they feel like, you know what, they want this position that bad, they kissing up to me, they want to be in a higher up so bad, I got them in that position because they kissed up, and now they're gonna be at my mercy. I'm gonna talk to them whatever way I want to talk to them, and people end up dealing with it because they're like, okay, I brown nose my way to the top, so I got to deal with it, and they get to talking to them any type of way that they want to. And me as a man, as a person, as a human being in general, people have pride. You have dignity. You don't never want to have someone talking to you where it's degrading to you, where you're getting talked to like a petulant child. Because in the work field, we all are adults. People have children. They have families. They're grown. They are grown men and women. Nobody want to be talked to like a child. No one. And no one should be talked to like a child. Because this is not a child relationship or a father-child relationship. This is, you're a superior, but at the same time, we are all adults. And I asked to be treated as such. Just like I'm sure everyone else asks to be treated as such. But brown nosing your way to the top is often the setup to being talked to and disrespected at their will. Seriously. I'm trying to think any other tips I would have to avoid those type of things. I'm trying to think. I guess, I gave the ways to avoid it, but if it happens, I believe for sure go to HR. And do not let it linger. Do not let it just get worse and worse, because at that point, man, it might get to a point of no return, and you maybe have let it go so long, you start building up these feelings and harboring these feelings to when the person goes way above the top, when they cross the line severely, even though they've been crossing the line, they cross the line severely and you lose it, and you do something to put your livelihood in jeopardy. Not just your job, but your job and your livelihood in jeopardy, because you've been holding in these emotions for so long, that when that person said their one thing, you just snap because you've been holding it in. You finally had a chance to release it, but that could be it could result in a negative release, to the point where you're trying to have a physical altercation with the person, you cursing them out, calling them every name in the book, and it's still a person that's a superior over you. They can report you because you have no record of reporting their verbal abuse to HR. You have no record of doing so. And you let it fester for so long that you blew up, and you're gonna look like the bad guy in the end, not the actual workplace bully. So those are my tips on how to deal with the workplace bully and how to avoid it. Machiavelli Mills TV. If y'all got any other suggestions, drop them in the comment section below. But those are my 2 cents on it. Peace.